Are always on my mind. You are always on. Let's go live, baby.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so comfortable.
Why? You should be in
Just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.
Well. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Luwa Shemilari Kante's cousin Lavish. So many names on the roster. And it's your boy Banks Notes. Football Beyond Borders, Banks Notes. Tell us something, Banks.
What are you telling me, man? I'm in such a good mood after watching some good football. One Africa. One Africa stand up, man. You lot were telling
me. So you don't do Sub-Sahara no more?
Huh? No. We're bringing it all back together because that's what that we keep separating. We need to bring it back together. Big up Morocco and what they did. Because people are trying to tell me some Eurocentric stuff, telling me, we need the Germanys, we need the Spains back in the world. And I was telling you, no. Let's take it back. Let's take it back and let's bring upsets back. Let's bring upsets back. But we're gonna talk about it.
All right, cool. Boom. Let's go then. Let's work our way back. Let's go back to the start. So obviously Netherlands clear off USA, and now they're playing Argentina in the quarterfinals. But tell me what you think about how both of them two got there, both Netherlands and Argentina, to meet each other. Because Argentina played a risque game against Australia, and Netherlands, which some would say, cruised past America. How was that?
I think cruise is the right word to describe for how they got past America, because the group stage performances that they gave us, it didn't really show up against Netherlands, which was a bit disappointing. Like the bite against England, USA were quick. They were quick to every ball. But it felt, I don't know, maybe it's like, as we said, like they play such a high intensity there, like basketball style, up and down. I don't know whether just like all of the American coaches are under the same influence, where it's just like get this ball up and down as quickly as possible. But against Netherlands, they look leggy, and in the end, the quality told, because it was literally, the worst thing is Netherlands scored off of 2 cutbacks. USA had those same positions so many times during the match, but they wasted them. Netherlands, I'd say they probably were in those situations 2-3 times, but they was clinical with them times. When there was time for them to tie it back, they did it perfectly. I think all 3 of their goals were very similar. The first one, Dumfries cuts it back to Depay, great finish. Put that shit on. Hey, they love me. Word to Depay, they love me over there. They love the second one. Dumfries cuts it back for Memphis Depay. No, not Memphis Depay. Daley Blind. Again, great finish. The Daley Blind didn't really come in those sauce. He just ran to his daddy. But you know, we love the family. We love the family. We love the family side to it, bro. I know that daddy.
More so, let's switch to the Argentina match. And I might start by saying I'm not believing Argentina's chain right now. I believe Messi has literally put some bling like on the bust down. Like they've busted up a little bit with Messi. They've put some
bust down a fake watch. Is that what you're telling
me? They've bust down a fake rollie. They've bust down a fake rollie because they've honestly bust down a fake rollie. And you know where the watch breaks and you put like a new battery in it. You take it to bus man, puts a battery. That's Lisandro Martinez. So
whoa! How did we get what did he do? He didn't even start, and he made a crucial block.
No, but I'm saying, he's the battery. Like, he's the new battery.
Oh, he's the battery. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misinterpreted.
Sorry, he's the new battery, and Messi's like the bling bling on the bust down. But overall, the watch is fake.
The watch is mad fake. There's only as you said, there's a couple pieces there that made the watch wearable. Like,
do you know? And you know, every Argentina match, it's minus the Mexico match. We see how fake the watch is because
minus the Poland one. I think the Poland one hit it better than the Mexico one.
Now Mexico can't finish, so Mexico was never really a threat.
Poland lost that game as if Argentina scored one more goal, Poland were going home. Poland played that match as if like a 3-0 loss was calm to them, like they'd go through regard, like they knew they were going through. That's what pissed me off about Poland. Like they didn't put up a fight at all. It was
Some of
literally
these, I know it's a
Louis
bit of a, I know it's a
Chesney
bit
and
off topic, but I was gonna say some of the European teams, the way they performed, it's just very unfair that they get a certain amount of slots.
we
But
need to talk. We need
yeah,
to talk about that because we can give those spots. We can share it out. Then there doesn't need to be such a Euro focus on the World Cup. We can share those spots out equally, and we're getting just as good value from anywhere else. This World Cup has shown us, multiple World Cup has shown us we need more underdog stories. Put
yeah.
these big countries on just a smidgen of pressure, just a smidgen. Some of them are folding. Some of them are gonna come through the pressure and be all right. Some of them are folding. Some of them are folding. You see Germany, that first loss against think, oh, Germany. How fake is Germany's watching? Like
Nah, but listen, they're so far. They're home and tucked in. Like they've been at home for a while now. We've got to move on past Germany. Let's go to let's conclude. So the Netherlands versus the Argentina match that they face each other. I think Friday, or I believe so. So who do you believe comes out on top?
I tell you what, Messi's turned up this World Cup and he's done his thing in terms of my country needs me. I'm gonna show up. He's had a couple strikers. He's had Julian Alvarez, who's played well up top with him. Lautaro Martinez, who has just embarrassed himself multiple times. But I don't know. I feel like my gut is telling me Netherlands, but my brain is telling me Messi's on something of a little mission to show side. I don't think Argentina wins it, but I'm gonna go Netherlands. I'm gonna go Netherlands because I think they're a more rounded machine. I think they're a better machine than what
It's gonna be. Why I say it's Netherlands is because there's just so many broken pieces in that Argentinian squad. Fair enough, you say Messi's turned up for his country, but like we do with England, let's look at who he's turned up against.
Talk about it then. Let me know.
You know what I mean? So now you're playing. This is the first real big match for Argentina where like the quality, there's not a complete imbalance of quality. It's not on paper. So let's see. And I don't believe he'll be able to turn up like that. So I feel like Netherlands goes through.
I agree, man. Something like I feel Netherlands are more rounded side. Again, Gakpo up front, Memphis Depay up front. They work well together. I mean Dumfries is gonna get a Premier League move off of this match, and it's gonna be so funny when they realize
he got an Inter Milan move off of the last tournament,
and Inter Milan fans realize quickly like he's not it. Like for me,
Dumfries to Newcastle.
I can see Tottenham buying him and just realize
Dumfries to Newcastle still.
Dumfries to Newcastle. He ain't better than Trippier.
Okay, actually, Dumfries to Tottenham makes a lot more sense.
Like I could just see it for some reason, man. And when they realize he's basically an Emerson Royale regen, they're gonna be so pissed. They're gonna be so pissed.
Let's move on to the other. We're gonna go in order. So we saw England sweep aside the African champions, sad to say, and we also saw Mbappe rise it on Poland. Killy. So they meet each other.
Sorry, CJ, this is a tried and tested front and French team. Don't do that because they went through all the good teams over the last 3 years. They won a World Cup, they won a Nations Cup. Let's be absolutely fair. This team is not new to the big stage, so it's easier to say. It's easier
you put in front of them.
It's easier to trust France on the big stage compared to Argentina. Way easier because they've been there, they've done it. This team knows what it's doing. Nathan, you just came with all the hate in your heart. There's nothing new there.
Boom. So these two get to this. I don't really want to talk about how they swept aside. We could talk about the Senegal England match more so rather than the France Poland match. But can we just please can we discuss how's this quarterfinals gonna go? Thanks. Because if you're around a lot of England fans and a lot of England circles, they're scared because it's like France. They know what threat Mbappe poses, but they're also optimistic because they know their squad. This is probably, some are saying this is the best generation England team they've ever seen, squad wise. Where's your head at?
Did you see Lee Dixon on commentary when he said "Bring on France"? That I can't lie, that killed me. That killed me because I know that's how it's kind of like I'm not. This is it reminds me of Arsenal fans, like low key. Like you look low key in your own personal circles. You're like bring on anyone, but in front of other people, you're just like, oh no, we don't know, man. We're just looking for top four. English fans want to say bring on France because they know they can beat them. They know they can beat them. I think England can beat France. This is not me saying England will beat France, but I know England can beat France.
Anybody can be anybody. So that's
No,
just a useless statement.
Stop. It's not a useless statement because of the fact that this England team is good enough to go up against this version of the French team. This England team is good enough to go up against this version of the French team.
Yeah.
The only thing that can hold England back is themselves. Whenever we've seen England go up against a good team or a team that's supposedly better than them,
they panic.
They panic and they go into their shells. They panic and they go into their shells and they stop playing their own game.
Yeah,
and that's where the problem is. Because with this French side, you can get at them. They've been gotten out of this World Cup. They've got the quality where even if you get them, we know we can get back at you times 10. But this England team is a much better match to this France team. So it depends. Is England going to go up and are they going to play their own game? Are they going to allow Bellingham to get forward and get into the box and create havoc off of that left side and do what he does best? Or is it going to be, are they going to go to 5 at the back and they're going to be more scared of what Mbappe brings to the table and like trying to defend against that? Mbappe is massive. Like you have to game plan for Mbappe, fair enough. But if England make the mistake of thinking that they have to go inside of themselves and defend for their lives against France, they will lose this game. They will not win this game if they try going to a super defensive, because France, even in the round of 16 against Poland, they were given a lot of possession to Poland. They were given a lot of possession to Poland because they knew if you give that space to counter attack, if that space is there, Mbappe is going to exploit it. Dembele is going to exploit, and both of them were running wild on both sides. But at the same time, Poland don't have the quality of England, where if you give them the ball, they can take it. But like we saw with Poland, they had nothing. They had nothing. Literally, I'm just going to put this out there. Somebody in the future is going to bring up a Robin Lewandowski knockout goal at the World Cup, and they're going to say, yeah, he scored in the knockout rounds of the World Cup. And wherever that conversation takes place in the world, I will be there to remind you it was a take a penalty at the end of a 3-1 loss. I will be there to remind whoever's in that conversation. You dare use that as a marker. Lewandowski and Poland, disgraceful. But the big thing, England cannot afford to go within themselves and be scared. The time for you being scared was when you was playing Welbeck and Ashley Young in the 10 and Henderson and Milner left wing. That's when you should be scared. That's when you go into yourselves and you try and get a 1-1 draw. But now, look at the team you're putting out. Look at the team you're genuinely putting out all across the board. You've got Walker, who's probably one of the best players. I'm not saying he's the best right back, but he's one of the best placed right backs to deal with the pace of Mbappe. Luke Shaw, who's come back into his own form and is playing great again. Harry Maguire doesn't put a foot wrong for England. Rarely puts a foot wrong for England. For United, he is what he is. But for England, him and John Stones are very good together. In the midfield, you've got Jude Bellingham, and you've got who else played in that mid? Declan Rice. Declan Rice, you need to step up a little bit, because I saw you hiding from the ball a couple of times in that shaky start to the match against Senegal.
I've let you go.
You need to step up.
I've let you go.
Up front, Bukayo Saka, form going crazy. Right hand side, he's providing goals. He's attacking defenders. Off the left hand side, you've got Phil Foden. You've got Rashford off the bench. You've got Harry Kane who scored his goal. You actually cannot afford to be afraid of this French side and think you have to defend for your lives. If you do that, it's game over. But if you go in, you've got as good a chance as anyone in this World Cup of beating France. If they go and attack France, they've got as good a chance of anyone of beating them.
Right.
Go off.
England, the team England put out is going to determine how well they do. Yes, they could be like, okay, let's be defensive and hold off. This is the thing. Mbappe is going to do what Mbappe does, whether you play a 3, whether you play a 4. So you cannot make your whole game plan on what Mbappe does or trying to nullify Mbappe. You know why? Because they'll switch the ball to the right wing. And what happens when they switch the ball to the right wing? We're just gonna put Luke Shaw on a rotisserie and cook his ass. They're gonna cook him. So France are gonna have a peak attack, but you got to make them think as well. Think about us. England have 2 threats, 2 main key threats: Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka. Get the best out of them, and you put yourself in a good place, and you're going to give France a good battle. But I'm very, very interested to see if Deschamps changes anything.
What do you think he'd need to change?
He's going to obviously keep Rabiot.
He needs donkey work for Mbappe.
Pardon?
I said he needs someone to do the donkey work for Mbappe.
Yeah.
If Mbappe's going to stay high, he needs someone that's going to be in that left channel, just sweeping up, covering that space.
Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of saying.
Tchouameni's going to start. I think he keeps it the same. Griezmann is having a great tournament. He's not going to get dropped.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, the threat of Mbappe and Dembele on the wings. Giroud, record goal scorer. Upamecano gave away the penalty, but he will keep his place because they were mostly.
He's going to play Varane and Upamecano, and obviously Jules Koundé is a bit of a France's team. As much as everybody says that they've got a fantastic squad to replace the injuries, France's team is not. It could be so much stronger. That's the scary part. It could be so much stronger if they had the experience of obviously N'Golo and Pogba, which obviously seemed like a mission away. This game's over.
I'd be way more confident in a French win right now. Even like if Pogba and Kante were 80.
No, the game's over. The game would be over still. It's not. There'll be no. I believe there'll be no discussion. For me, I'm not even worried about Benzia and Giroud. It's the midfield because Tchouameni's been good, but Jude Bellingham's been better. Same with Rabiot. Like England's midfield, Jude Bellingham specifically has been better than France's midfielders. So it's like you've won that battle, but I can't call it. I expect France to win. Honestly,
I think the big thing I said I was talking about it earlier, but I think a big thing is just going to be Rice versus Tchouameni in that 6th role. Like who's going to be willing to take the ball off your defenders and play? Tchouameni.
This is a great point. Don't get it twisted. Griezmann in that 8. Griezmann in that 10-8 role. Woo-wee.
He's been going crazy still. And he's always thing with Griezmann, he's always showing up for France. Like you can't doubt the fact that he shows up for France.
So this is the thing. All of the French team, predominantly the midfield going forward, they turn up for their country. They don't. The problem you have with France is if it gets to 0-0 and then they try to bring on Kingsley Coman. No. You get what I mean? Then the level drops a little bit, and we can't afford that. The good thing saving England is that France don't really have a bench. They don't have no bench because Marcus Thuram is probably the only.
Yeah, Thuram, as you said, Coleman as well.
They'll bring on Fofana. It just doesn't. No, it's flat. They have no bench. The bench was on Cuckoo. He's gone. But flat. England are gonna do. Let me read Hugo Pereira's point. I was gonna say France are gonna do the thing where they give you the ball, so you step up and play a high line. Hugo Pereira says England gonna dominate the ball, but to no avail. England's usually better on the counter attack. France will set them, let them have it. Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good point, and it's about how you use the ball. Like if England, as I said, like I think France, same as Poland, like they'll be happy for England to have the ball. Like it's never been a problem for them defending and like letting the other team have the ball because they know their outlets are crazy, the best in the world. But if England, as I said, if England have the quality where all of their attackers and large parts of their midfield are going to be comfortable in using the ball, and if they can use it effectively, they're going to cause France problems, in my opinion. It's about how effectively they use the ball that they're given. If they don't use that effectively and they just try and play it safe,
quickly, we've gone to the next two games. Nathan said, if England are smart, they let France have the ball and just pick them up on the counter. What happens when two teams? What happens when two teams want each other to have the ball?
No, it goes to penalty. No, that's it. No, and it goes to penalty. If both teams are scared to have the ball,
I don't think France would want it to go penalty.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, essentially, if both teams, like as you said, there's going to be openings. But if both teams are sitting back, defending their goal, it's going to be way harder to score. It's going to it more than likely ends up 0-0, goes to penalties. I don't see it happening another way.
Set pieces.
Good point.
Kane needs to step up.
Point.
England have shown all throughout the time they can't play football, struggle to see anything but a France win. Time to see a number 9 in the big game for England. Yeah, Kane's got to step up.
Hey, because Giroud has stepped up this tournament. Kane,
yeah.
You bet this is your time to step up.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So what are you calling it? What are you calling it? We need to move on.
I'm going France win. I'm going France win.
Okay. For the balance, I'm going England win.
I love the fact that you bring balance to the show. Love it.
All right, so let's move on. We've got two more quarterfinals games to go. Yesterday we saw Brazil absolutely demolish. Scoreline, demolish is the word. Demolish South Korea and samba their way into the quarters. And before that, we saw Croatia, one of the shyest World Cup or tournament teams we've ever seen. Knowing that they've only, I saw something saying that the last knockout game they won was in 1998, but get through on penalties.
Wait, say that again. The last knockout game they won was when?
In 9 minutes. Is 1998.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah,
so
you can. I said, get it how you can.
Get through on penalties against a very, very tough Japan side who displayed very poor penalties, to be fair. But yeah, so let's discuss the two teams. Outright, Brazil, the majority of the tournament's favorites, the majority of the book favorites, Brazil. But sorry, let me just read these predictions. Nathan says 2-1 England, 3-1 France by Hugo, 2-1 France by Ricky. So back to the Croatia, Brazil, how they got to this quarterfinals. Yeah, so Croatia, I feel like again they're in that cohort of Belgium, Croatia, Germany. That cohort, it could have been any of those three at this point, but they're not good enough right now. Croatia has run its course. I feel like why it's a good game for Brazil is because Croatia's defense they're no schmucks. It's not easy to get through them. Croatia won't score against Brazil.
I think so.
No, they won't. They won't score against Brazil. But the question is, will Brazil score against Croatia? And if that's the case, if they have a stalemate, it's anyone's game when it goes to penalties. So, as I just read the stat before, Croatia is the king of taking you to penalties, or Croatia is the king of winning knockouts without winning in 90 minutes. So, yeah, I believe that will be it'll be a very low score line, and it'll be a very, very strenuous game, if that makes sense. Croatia were easy to stumble against Japan. Japan were a very good squad. I must give them an honorable shout out, even though their manager, as Nathan said, their manager was taking the mickey. But, yeah, Japan's a very good side, a very, very good side. Like, they don't know when they're beat.
Proper anime team. That's a good thing, bro. Sometimes the team just don't know. The team don't know where they beat.
Yeah, and you just get the flux from somewhere.
From a decent place. I think Brazil, man, I think that's the first time this tournament when I think they turned it on and it just clicked. And I don't doubt that Neymar coming back had something to do with it. The whole front line was just active and everyone was involved. So I'm not going to say it was just purely Neymar, but I think that the Brazil team is slowly getting into their zone and again, the South Korea team were not great and Son got sent home crying. The South Korea team were not great. But at the same time, it seemed to click. It seemed to click, and they were finding themselves a bit more. So I don't think it's gonna be as I said, I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but I do think Brazil win convincingly, not comfortably, convincingly.
Okay.
So I think Brazil continue to find themselves. I think Croatia, you're right, as in they're coming, like this is gonna be the last World Cup for like a lot of their big names, the Perisic's, the Modric.
It's over. This is it.
This is it. And they're still playing at a very high level. Like we can't discount that they're still playing at a high level. But again, I just think this Brazil side, like defensively, they're sound. And when it clicks offensively, that's when it really makes them the super team. So I think Brazil win convincingly. It's not going to be easy, but I think eventually they run away with it.
Nathan said Brazil 2-0. Neymar Rainbow flicks the keeper.
You're playing FIFA, and I love it.
I love it. You live FIFA.
Let's just play FIFA with it, man.
Okay, so I think convincingly I'll say Brazil win as well, but I was just trying to make the point that it might not be as easy. One thing I must say before we get onto the last game, I love the way, bar probably the Morocco game, which I'm fine with. I love the way now we have colossal clashes. I don't know if you call Netherlands versus Argentina colossal, but it's got a lot of heritage there. There's a lot of history behind this team. I feel like in the last World Cup, a lot of teams, big teams, stumbled, and then we had some cause. We had a lopsided bracket of a table. I don't think there's an easy route now for any of these teams if they win. If England win, they would have had to beat France and probably Portugal, and then probably play a Brazil. If Portugal win, they've had to beat Portugal has the easiest route, by the way, out on paper. But they would have had to. They would have had to beat Morocco and then probably maybe a France or England and then play. But everybody does have a tough route, if I'm being completely honest, from this point onwards, because this is only the quarters and we have these huge games where normally a team plays one big semi-final and then they play a final, whoever, two big games. But this is a beautiful. It's been a beautiful tournament in terms of matchups, in terms of the importance of each game. Not so much the atmosphere, but yeah, that's fine. I would surrender that.
The African teams are brought up. That Senegal match, I could hear, like when you can hear it through the TV.
Yeah, you can hear the vuvuzelas through the TV. You're thinking, right, you've got to turn down your TV. That's how you know there's atmosphere.
Morocco, the same time as well, fam.
Right, so perfect segue into that. So Morocco put aside Spain in the round of 16, and they will meet Portugal, who absolutely swept the tournament. Like, what would I call them? Like, tournament admin. You know, that competent admin. That's the Switzerland are like the tournament administrators. Like, they make their Tottenham. They make it interesting. They never win. They're not going to a final, but they're tournament admin. They literally just do. They're very competent at tournaments.
They're gonna make round of 16, and they're gonna have a grudge match against Serbia. Round of 16 and a grudge match against Serbia, and they've done their job. They're gonna go home after that, but they've done their job.
They've done their job, and you're gonna remember them. They're no slouch.
They're gonna get their pictures in.
They're no slouch, and this is the thing. Why we've got to give Portugal some credit. They made Switzerland look like slouches.
Do you think it was just sounds like without Ronaldo attacks, like they could finally play, or was it Switzerland, like they were just poor? What do you think it was? Because I'd say that throughout the tournament they've given trouble to most teams. Like even Brazil, it took Brazil a while to break them down, and then the other two games they played well, didn't lose. Like what was it that just today Portugal just went through, and what was it?
6 of another 500,000, my bro. I feel like it's literally both moving in both parts. Like you had Switzerland who weren't good enough, and you have Portugal who were actually excellent because they're able to play without Ronaldo and playing with the target man of Ronaldo. So it was a lot of mobility between midfield and attack. Like as sad as it is for Ronaldo, and it's funny, like as a rival fan to see just demise and whatever. Seeing Ronaldo in this form is actually quite sad because one, he's very slow. It's not even that he's not fast anymore.
Man, you don't say you don't even care about offside no more. But
it's not even that he's very. It's not even that he's not fast anymore. Ronaldo is quite slow, And the thing is, it doesn't look like he's slow because he uses a lot of. It's because of the form in which he runs it. It looks like he's using a lot of muscles, and he's very slow for a footballer playing at this level. And because of that, it's not. It sounds mad me saying this, but Ronaldo has no confidence to execute what he's trying to do, or he just doesn't have the ability. Like Ronaldo can only set the ball. That's why you see him a lot of the time now, dropping back for a short free kick to set off. So he's so easy to mark. Very rarely do you see Ronaldo receive the ball, turn on it, carry it, and put someone into play like disgusting. He does something 1 on 2 touch now, 3 max. That's why he scored a hat-trick against Tottenham, because no one was used to their moves. No one was used to their moves. He wasn't supposed to hold the ball for that long. You just drop off. Okay, let me shoot. Do you get so? But anyway, yeah, they were able to play through the midfield easily, through Switzerland's midfield easily. I just don't know where Switzerland were. Honestly, I can't put my mind on it. They were not. Normally, they're defensively a lot more rigid. No matter how good the team is they're playing, you don't pop Switzerland like that. So that was that. You've got to give Portugal some credit.
I think it was just so smooth. Like liquid is the best way to describe the way Portugal were playing.
Yeah.
I think what was it, the Guerrero goal, when I was just like, yeah, there gets to a point. It was in the same in the Brazil match when everyone's just on the same wavelength and everyone's having fun with it, and you're doing your flicks.
Guerrero? Oh, the fifth goal.
The fifth, was it fourth or fifth, where everyone's just popping it about and the right flick comes and it gets to the right person and everything's just working. And that's what it felt like with Portugal today. Like they reached that level where everyone was just on the same wavelength. And with that, you're gonna get goals and you're gonna rip apart this Switzerland side. So I think the extra fluidity brought to the team by Goncalo Ramos, who, by the way, Benfica are about to make another drink off of a striker. He is
he's got to do it. He's got to do it again.
It's done now. Benfica are laughing. They're making a drink. It doesn't matter what he does from now. There's already a team. You think he can do that in the Barclays? Think you can do? Southampton tried to bid for him in the summer, apparently. You know, I'm telling you, there's another team that's adding on a couple zeros to that now, fam. I'm telling you, Benfica are eating. But he looks good up front, man. That's the first time I've seen him play personally. But he looks good up front.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the movement, again, linking up the play as well. Like again, it felt very liquid. It felt very smooth. And where he played his part. Man said a hattie on his full debut in around the 16
in
of the
World Cup. That's fantastic.
You can't ask for more than that.
You can't ask for more. Shout out Portugal, because I've never seen them play like this before, ever.
Viper Assassin, Felix go crazy. Diego Simeone, when you let go of João Felix in January, you're going to look back and you're going to realize that you absolutely mismanaged a top baller.
Now he knows he had a bad one. He knows he had a bad. He knows he had a bad one. It doesn't matter. Some people, if you don't, you will learn, bro. If you don't hear, you must feel. Do you get them ones? He's gonna have to learn. But I was gonna say I've never seen Portugal play like this before in my life. Not until like Total 90 Portugal, when Ronaldo first burst onto the scene. That's over like 15 years ago. I've never seen Portugal be like move the ball quick and just be fast and be frightening.
Never. I ain't seen. I used to. Well, I still think to a certain extent. But Fernando Santos, you decided to drop Ronaldo, and this is what your team was doing in training, and you was looking at it and just thought, I'm gonna keep Ronaldo in the team. You see what your team is capable of. You see it. You see the future for your team. Hey man, whoever takes over after Santos leaves here, just know you've got a generation.
People are saying, is the commentators, it's like they wait for you to win before they start talking. They said, Portugal, I think, is their generation, like their future. The future's now.
Literally.
It's literally now. Like everybody's of age. There's no kids. Everyone's of age.
25, 26-ish.
Everyone's old enough. It's a perfect balance of a squad. And Portugal should take this tournament very, very seriously. And like semi-finals isn't good enough. Get to the final. Like you've got to try and win.
because as you said, like if they beat Morocco, they have to face
France or England.
France or England. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Again, when it's the same thing I think with England and France. Like if Portugal put their best foot forward against either of those teams, there's no reason why it's not a game. There's no reason why they can't win. It all depends on the mentality,
With
man.
the way
It
in
all
which
depends on the mentality.
I'm more confident in Portugal popping England with that performance than I've seen with France. But anyway, let's go on to the last and most important team left in the quarterfinals and the tournament. The Africans. One Africa. No Sub-Sahara right now. One Africa. Mixed group go crazy. So let's go.
Hey,
Let's
man.
go.
Anybody that's watched the final third knows that I've told Shem I'm gonna grow my hair out before him. I told him this. So
And what did Julie and I tell you? Julie told you that my hair grow faster than you. What did I tell you? I said
Julie
I'm still gonna get.
Julie don't know nothing. Don't
I said
listen
I'm
to
gonna
me.
get one more trim in
Don't
December.
know
You've got like a
nothing about
2-month head start. You've got a 2-month head start, and I promise you, my hair
You're
still
not
grow quicker
you're
than
not
yours.
copying me in this hair thing. You're not when you see the thing sticking through the hair like this already, just know it's problems. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Okay, big fella.
You check me by my birthday is a different story, fam. It's a different story.
And I've seen how your hair grow. It just stops. Your hair stops when it gets
my
to
hair don't stop. My hair don't stop.
when it
You've
gets
never
to a 2.5. Your hair just stops.
This is where you're lying. This is where you're just lying on my name because you've never seen me grow out my hair properly. Never seen me grow. You've never seen me try.
When you had to use the expression to.
I've I've seen you try. Your one just stops at the high top. I remember you used to it stops at the high top. Just stops. Dead stops growing.
Anyway, this guy's just weird. This one thing you can lie. There's tape. The tape's back there. You see my hair.
I could check the tape. High top.
Morocco. How did Morocco get past? How did Morocco get past Spain?
Know what's right here? Pure heart and desire. Pure heart and desire. Defend for your country. How many players want to defend for their country? Everyone wants to play, everyone wants to attack for their country. Who really wants to defend? I looked at that Morocco team and they wanted to defend for their country.
Jesus Christ, your dial-up is going crazy. You just go sort that out. Let me take over. One word. Morocco went through this tournament because of their combative central midfielder, Amrabat. He's been solid.
Shall I tell you what? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you froze. But go on.
I remember Amrabat that played for Watford a couple years ago. On my life, I thought it was him.
It's not. He's a right back.
He's a little. That's what I'm saying. I thought he converted to a centre midfielder. I was baffed.
No. Just because he's bald as well.
It's his little brother.
No. Yeah, it wasn't him. I clocked from the first game when they played Croatia. Was it Croatia? I think it was Croatia. No, it wasn't Croatia. But I clocked from the first game. Yeah, it was Croatia. Sorry, I clocked from the first game where they played Croatia, and he was sensational. Still, it was quite confusing. I was thinking, what kind of
bro? He's active in there. He's active in there.
And then obviously Ziyech stepped up. This is the thing about when you're supposed to be the big game player for your nation, be the big game player. I'm tired of people saying it's unfair because France have Mbappe. It's unfair because Brazil have Neymar. You know why it seems unfair? Because they are the big players that step up for their nation. Most of the top nations have big game players. England's got Kane. Belgium's got Kevin De Bruyne. Portugal actually had Ronaldo. Messi. Argentina have Messi. Spain and Germany are the only two that have no one. If we're going to be honest, through time they've had no one. Spain, they've had a collective. Germany never really had anyone.
Who was the last big game player? Muller was the last one, but he's even
no, but that doesn't count. Look at the caliber of players we're saying. You ever said Muller was?
I hear you, but he turned up for his country.
Thank you, Bale, Wales, and Bale. So for me, well done to Hakim Ziyech because stepping up for Morocco, it means more. It means so much. I love seeing it. You know, I love seeing it. And it's very obvious which big game player, especially in these teams, because that's the one the English media will focus on the most. Oh, this person, we know him in the Premier League. If that player turns up for that country, applaud them, because it's not easy. It's not easy. You're carrying your whole nation. But what do you expect from Morocco coming to meet this Portugal side in the way in which they're playing? Thanks.
It's not going to be the same as that Switzerland match. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. They're going to make it very hard for them. I still expect Portugal to win, but we know who we're rooting for. But I still expect Morocco to make it very, very difficult for Portugal. They're going to defend, and they've got the little magic of Buffon and Ziyech on each wing. Did you see the little? Did you see the he gave to Llorente? Oh my God! It was all in the eyes. He just looked.
You know, sidebar for those of you. Apparently, you know the dance, the little shimmy Hakimi did. You know that was a tribute to Ramos. Apparently.
Yeah, they did. They celebrated together like that for PSG, and obviously, Luis Enrique decided to drop Sergio Ramos from the squad, so you had to give him the little, let him know. Hey man, always make sure if your boy ain't riding for you like that, if he ain't showing up for you like that on the big stage, you gotta check it.
Ramos would definitely wanted them to get knocked out, 100%.
You think he wanted? He was rooting against Spain.
Yeah, 100%. Ramos won a World Cup already. Let me know.
Big hater vibes. Hey, another thing that I didn't realize was happening, but I love as well. All of the North African teams, when they win a match or like after the match, they're making sure to represent Palestine after the match, which I think is so cool. Mm-hmm. They all bring the Palestine thing flag onto the pitch, and they celebrate with it, which I think is again so cool. Mm-hmm. That was a nice little touch. I didn't realize that a lot of the
someone said Joaquin Bale for Wales. Germany had Closer and Spain had David Villa. I said Messi and Ronaldo. You said Miroslav Closer. Okay. Spain had David Villa. The thing with Spain, like I said, it was a collective. It was a collective, but there was no real boom. This is the marquee talisman. Our country's hopes is on this player. It wasn't that for David Villa? Because he'd come off and Torres would play. Or Fabregas would play false nine. So who else is here?
Blasphemy there.
Huh?
He said that's blasphemy.
What's blasphemy? Hold on, close. What, Miroslav Closer? Yeah.
Closer slander.
No, it's not blasphemy. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we discussed Mbappe. We did a nice long segment on it. Sammy, make sure you go check it out. Go watch it back.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Shem. They had prime Torres. Exactly. So it wasn't just one person, was it? That's what I'm saying. It wasn't just one person. Thank you. Point proven. So let's wrap up there. Yeah.
Okay. Are we done? Team of the round of 16.
I was just gonna do team of the tournament from here.
Swear.
Yeah, we're just gonna go team of the tournament. Not from here, but I mean when we get to the final, I was just gonna do team of the tournament.
Who am I going with? I gotta go with the Morocco keeper in goal.
No, I mean I wasn't gonna do a team today, my brother.
Oh, no team today.
From knockouts onwards, it's team of the tournament. Yeah.
I hear it. He said we'll go and let this one go, fam. We'll go and let this.
I don't know what comment he's complaining about. If is it Closer or Muller?
Are you complaining about the Closer one or the David Villa one?
Because for me, the David Villa one, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying it was more of a team. Whereas every other one I've named wasn't as much as every other one I've named is not more of a team effort. So yeah, Argentina had Iker Casillas, on that note. You lot, it's been real. Thank you very much for tuning into the round of 16 going into the quarterfinals TF3 match day. Hope you guys are enjoying the World Cup. Make sure you find somewhere to watch the England versus France match. Watch it with your buddies. Don't go and watch it in these public parks where they're throwing beers around because it's not even natural. It's winter. Go home cold and smelling like beer. It's disgusting. So yeah, make sure you enjoy the game. Make sure you like and subscribe to TSV. Thank you for joining. I've been your host today, Oluwashemilore, Kante's cousin, Lavish, whichever name you feel like calling me on the day. And I've been joined by my ever faithful, ever loyal co-host, Banks Notes, Football Beyond Borders, Banks. So many Football Beyond Borders, Banks. Jesus, that's long. But cool. I will, and we will see you for the semis. Actually, we'll see you for the semis. Semis talks. All right. Peace.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so comfortable.
Wow, you should be in
Just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We build you out. We build you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You face a